It's such a far away, long way to see. Oh, how long have you lived in Vegas?
21 years.
21. Well, you've seen this place change. Well, so have I. I started working here when I was 7. So I've seen this place change a lot. That was 25 years ago. So, this is called the Personal Pre-Show. And this is a little bit different than a meet and greet because obviously we can't do meet and greets with COVID going around the way it is. So I thought, I gotta do something, you know, I can't do meet and greets, so I told Caesars I wanted to do a personal pre-show. They said, well, what is it gonna be like? I said, well, it's personal and it's pre-show. So the reason I put personal in there is if I show pictures of my family or my grandkids, stuff like that, I just ask, you know, don't post it, please. Because I don't post certain pictures. And, but that's why I call it the personal pre-show. I want you to see a different side of my life rather than just the showbiz person. So I'm going to turn it over to you to see if you have any questions. No questions? Okay. Yes?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for talking and singing to my first graders on January 3rd.
How did that go, by the way?
Oh my gosh, their parents, the messages I got. Did my child really talk to Donny Osmond?
Yes.
Was he really in your classroom? I said, well, technically, sort of, yes. They really enjoyed it very well.
Why don't you tell everybody what we did?
I had the meet and greet on January 3rd, and I'm a first grade teacher, and so it happened to be at 9:30 in the morning. And so I told my class that they were all going to get to meet Donny Osmond, and they didn't believe it because they see all his pictures on the wall. And then when
She's my greatest advertiser for first graders. They have no idea who I am. They do now, yeah. Anyway, I interrupted you, sorry.
No, and so when Donny Osmond came on, they were like in awe, like really, that's really him. And then he sang the song from the Lost for them, and they were just totally jazzed.
That's cool.
But it was the comments from the parents. My child said that they talked to Donny Osmond, and I said, well, I guess they did. They didn't. The parents didn't really think it was true.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm glad it worked.
And then January 18th, my little granddaughter came into the world.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
First?
Second,
Second. What's her name?
Paige.
Oh, that's cute. P-A-I-G-E. We don't have a birthday for 0. Or do I have a 0 birthday? No. P-A-I-G-E? Yeah? I don't know. Do we have a 0 birthday?
Let's try it.
Let's try it.
See what we can do.
Record this for Paige someday. Oh, Paige, it's your birthday. Time to celebrate, sing about who you had another candle, another year, it's true, but 0. Sure, that's good on you. Oh, Paige, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Paige. Someday, you'll know who I am. You had a question. What is your name?
Angie, I'm from near Chicago.
You still live in Wilmette?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What part of Chicago?
About an hour away, DeKalb, Illinois.
DeKalb out west.
NIU University.
Yeah. They got a big water tower up there that says
Yep.
DeKalb on it.
Yep, you sure do.
I have a story that I want to tell you about DeKalb, but go, you tell yours
Okay, I just
first.
wonder, you were kind of born into the Osmond family and the show business. If you didn't have that, what do you think you'd be doing?
You know, I've been asked that question before,
Imagine.
and I just don't know, because all I've known is show business. There was a time when I didn't think it would work, because I tried so hard in the 80s to get back on the charts, you know, get my career going again. And in 1988, I had plans to start my own security company. Did I ever tell you that? Yeah, it was,
Security.
It was going to be a security company because I thought, well, show business isn't working anymore. And
Donny Security.
Donny Security. I can't remember the name it was going to be. It was an idea for 5 minutes. And then I got news that my record was the #1 requested record in New York. That changed my mind real fast. Yes, exactly. But I really don't know. Well, serious answer is that I probably would do something in computer technology, would work for Apple or something like that. My story I want to tell you, though, when I was doing Joseph in Chicago, I just happen to love peas, green peas. I just loved, I grow them in my garden. Ever since I was a little kid, you know, sometimes those first experiences as a little kid just changes your life. Well, my dad and my mom planted a row of peas when I was about, I guess, 5, and in a town called Huntsville, Utah. We had a home there. And I went out there and I ate it. It was like food of the gods. I don't know, something happened to me. But the peak clicked in my brain or something because I just love them. So I had a day off. You're gonna think I'm really weird when I tell you this story. But I had a day off and I turned to my wife and I said, I need peas. So I found this pea farmer out in DeKalb. And I rented his farm for the day. My wife thought I was a complete idiot. Well, she always does, but I drove my family out there, and the nicest guy and his family, and they had dinner for us a little bit. And they said, well, there's our farm. And we just, you know, the big grocery bags?
Yeah.
We had a little station wagon. And I bet we picked at least 20 bags of peas. Yeah. I'm not telling, it's a stupid story, but I picked 20 bags of peas.
Well, how do you cook them?
Huh?
You just steam them? Or?
No, eat them raw.
Oh, raw?
Oh, raw, absolutely. Yeah.
But we're more known for the corn.
Yes, that's true, yeah. But there's peas out there.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anytime you want some peas, just come over to my house. No.
No.
Any others? Yes.
Have you ever been to Solvang? Had their pea soup?
Solvang, I know that.
Anderson's,
How do I know Solvang?
California?
California.
Santa Barbara. By the Jelly Belly factory.
Yes, I have never done that.
And you like pea?
I've never had that peeing experience. I'll have to do that, Solvang.
oh, I forgot.
You get all you can eat pea soup.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's a famous.
Why don't I know about this
Anderson's
place?
pea soup. It's like a stop on the drive on the.
All right, I gotta do this. Hold on.
I need to know what you think about this pea soup.
Got a word in my other brain here. Okay, got it, thank you. This lady here, her name's Linda, I call her Fred.
No, I call you Fred.
I call you Frank.
Right.
She knows everything about my career. She knows more about me than I do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. What are you guys doing back here?
Enjoying the show.
Is it the cologne or deodorant or what?
Enjoying
Where are you guys from?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Oh my goodness, I love it there. When are you going back home?
A little bit. A little bit.
Can I come with you? What island?
Oahu.
Oahu, that's where I proposed. I
Nice.
got engaged out in Laie.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's a special island for Debbie and myself.
Nice. When was the last time you played there?
Played
Yes.
or vacationed?
Oh, when was the last time you sang there?
Back in the 1800s sometime. You know, to me, playing Hawaii kind of takes the magic out of it because I go there to relax.
That's your spot.
And so I think the last time, seriously, I played there was in the 70s. I think it was, sometime back then.
Well, thank you.
When I was 2. Yeah.
Did you do Joseph there?
I never did.
Okay.
The interesting question. There were plans to do Joseph. How did you know this?
When I was seeing Joseph,
Yeah.
I traveled there, and because I knew, the plan was that it was going to be.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took a bus to go to the theater just to check it out.
Oh, are you serious? Yes, it was, the contracts were all signed and everything was ready to go, and they pulled the plug in the last minute. I don't know why. I can't remember the time frame. It was either that or Salt Lake, I believe. And that's,
And we won.
and you won. That's right. Yeah, Joseph, I was supposed to do that for 6 months. Ended up being 6 years. So it was a long, long run. I have a funny story that I usually tell on stage, but I'm going to tell you guys. Have you ever seen Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor? You've seen it?
Toronto?
In Toronto. there's a scene where I'm running around this bed and Mrs. Potiphar is chasing me and all the dancers are chasing me. And I have this loincloth on, that's all I have on. I'll never forget the first time I went to get my clothes fitted, and they brought this loincloth in the dressing room. And I thought, where's the rest of it? Because there was nothing to it, right? That's motivation to stay in the gym, let me tell you. But every night, every show, over 2,000 shows, Mrs. Potiphar would try to pull this loincloth off me. And she never did. Except one show, and it was in Salt Lake City. You weren't at that show, were you?
Well, I worked backstage with you, so I was at every show.
But you didn't see that one
No,
particular
I was
moment?
at stage left or stage right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was embarrassing, let me tell you. That's all I'm gonna say about it. There's a million jokes running through my head, but I can't remember what the question was. Hawaii. So, yeah, last minute was canceled, unfortunately. That would have been a fun time. I would have enjoyed that. Yes,
I have
sir.
a question. Do you know where your name came from, or how you got the name Donny?
Actually, my mom was hoping for twins. And she was going to name the twins Donald and Ronald. I'm so glad I don't have a twin. The funny thing about my name is that that's my real name, Donald. And Marie's real name is Olive. So technically it should have been the Donald and Olive Show. But it just doesn't come out easily, that Donny and Marie. But Clark came from my Uncle Clark, or actually my mom's uncle. So it's Donald Clark Osmond. Unless you know something I don't.
We heard a rumor that my wife's family, that her grandfather's name is Donald Cavalli.
Yeah.
And he was in Ogden and was friends with your parents. And
Come on.
we heard that they helped convert him to the gospel.
You're kidding.
And we heard that they, because they looked up to him so much and thought he was such a great guy, that somehow they.
He was a scoutmaster.
Get out of
Older
here.
brother,
Wow.
who I heard. So.
Are you? And that's your grandpa.
My grandpa.
You know what?
learned where your name was
Well,
Now I know.
well,
He's from a scoutmaster.
I mean, they said
It could just
was
be a rumor.
in remembrance. I mean, that's what our grandparents told us, but
Well,
but you guys were in the same war and everything.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Now that's cool. I never knew that. Nice to meet you, cousin. That's really cool. Where do you guys live now?
Houston, Texas.
Houston. Okay. My son, my oldest son, moved down to Austin. He lives down there. He has 4 boys. You guys are being very quiet. All of you guys over here are being very quiet. Any questions from you guys? Where are you from?
We just moved here about a year ago.
From?
Fresno, California.
Fresno.
Yeah.
There's a great jazz, what do we call it? Not convention, but downtown outside every year. Are you familiar with it?
Is it at the baseball stadium?
No, it's not the stadium, it's at like a park or something. I did that one year, back in the 80s. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we understand what you're saying about the grandparents.
You are grandparents?
We're
My son just moved here 2 weeks ago with his wife and 2 young kids who are staying with us.
Yeah.
So we're getting it full dose.
So yeah, they moved
Five-
in.
It's nice to send them back home, isn't it?
Right? Right now
Five
they're-
years old and 5 months old.
5
Oh
months
my goodness.
So yeah, they're like.
Well, the
what-
5-year-old, he knows everything, or she, whoever.
Yeah,
He knows everything.
We're looking for an apartment.
Yeah, so you spoil them, have rotten, being full of sugar or whatever.
I've already been warned, no more toys.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
today.
Play-Doh.
No more toys. No Play-Doh.
Legos? Are they into Legos?
You're not allowed to bring them out of the garage yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet. Dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah. It's the best,
Yeah.
especially when you send them home.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Where are you from?
We live here now. We're from Rochester, New York.
Rochester. They used to have a huge thing called the Hilcomore Pageant up by Rochester.
I actually grew up in the town next to it. I used to go every year.
Did you really? I played Samuel the Lamanite one year. And do you remember Samuel the Lamanite?
No.
You don't remember? Well, there's a scene, and I don't know why I did this, but I thought, it'd just be kind of fun. So Samuel is out there, and he's commanding, and the press wanted to get, did you guys ever see?
Yeah,
Okay.
we went to it.
You went to it? So Samuel, because I've got the garb on, it's about a guy who lived about, 280? No, BC, excuse me. No, he was about 8 BC,
That's right.
something like that. So anyway, he was in the Americas, right? And so I've got the garb on and all this kind of stuff, and the press want to get some footage of this and air on the news, so that like 3 stations show up. And there's this one scene where, there's the audience over there, and these people throw spears at Samuel. Well, they throw them clear over there, but according, with the audience point of view, it looks like it's coming right at him. So the news people are just right here, and I said, guys, I want this to look good. Throw them right at me. I'll dodge it. Biggest mistake of my life. So, here I am, giving the lines, and I'm acting real macho, and here come the spears, like, it was horrible. Horrible. Some macho guy I was on that one. But that's my Rochester story.
Well, my story about the pageant is that my sister and I went one year not to watch the pageant. We walked around the whole time because we heard that you were going to be there.
Come on.
I swear.
I must have been at that same one, I remember.
Because there was a rumor, but you weren't performing. That you and your brothers and sisters were going to be there. That's so weird.
I know that is.
And we walked around the whole time looking for you.
My goodness.
You were very disappointed.
He was hiding from the spears.
That's exactly what I was doing, yeah. What about you guys back there?
San Angelo, Texas?
No, I don't know where St. Angelo?
West Texas.
West Texas, okay. All right, just vacationing, having fun?
Yeah, for the weekend.
Just the weekend?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you picked a very quiet time in Vegas. It's probably really a cool time.
Yeah.
And cold right now. But it is freezing. It's totally freezing. We got that nor'easter. You see what's happening in the East Coast? It's crazy. Oh my, I have some friends in New York, and they're just getting like 2 feet of snow.
2 feet.
Something like that.
Oh my gosh.
What about you guys?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines. I've been there many times. You just having fun here?
We have a conference, yeah, we're here for a work.
What kind of conference?
It's air conditioning, refrigeration, heating, large.
I like the heating part right now.
I'm in Des Moines right now.
Yeah, it's
Love
pretty
it.
cold there.
I'll bet.
It's -8.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we got delayed twice on the plane because it froze.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
way.
on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to warm Las Vegas.
So, I need to tell you.
Yes.
I was here 10 years ago for my 40th birthday to see you and Marie.
Oh, yeah.
And you had laryngitis.
Really?
It's taken me 10 years to get back.
Sorry about that. Didn't do it on
But you know
purpose.
what? Your sister did a lap dance on him.
Oh, really?
She came down off stage and did a lap dance, and he thought it was the best thing ever.
Well, then it was worth it. I am not going to do a lap dance tonight, okay? What'd you say, Glenn?
I think I remember that.
You remember the lap dance?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. Well, what's that?
Oh, I was gonna say in Salt Lake, when you did a concert there, I remember she kissed Dallin 8 chokes on the head, I think. Do you remember that?
She did what?
She kissed Dallin 8 chokes on the head.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He had a big lipstick mark on his head throughout.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll never forget that one.
That was at the Dion Concert, not Dion Concert Hall. What's the place? Bravo Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so sick during that run.
We couldn't tell.
Had the flu. It was terrible. Terrible. Had laryngitis.
I do have another question.
Yes.
Is it true that you did the moonwalk before Michael Jackson?
No.
Okay.
I taught him, but I didn't.
I grew up thinking that, but all right.
I got a funny Michael Jackson story I gotta tell you. He and I were really close friends and buddies, and at the end of his life, it just did, we all know some weird things, but I like to remember Mike as the young 13-year-old kid. We were both 13 when we both met. And I went over to his house one day, and this is just before Thriller was released. I was one of the first ones to hear it. And he said, do you want to go to a movie? Actually, no, he said, want to go to a movie? I said, yeah, let's do something. He said, I got these passes. Do you remember a movie called The Dark Crystal? Okay, it was a preview, a special preview that was happening that night. And he said, let's go to this preview, just you and me. And we'll put on disguises so no one will know who we are. So we got these big afros. And, I mean, he looked okay, but this white guy with an afro just doesn't work. And we both put mustaches on and trench coats, right? Okay, obviously we didn't look suspicious at all walking into the theater with trench coats. And I'm sure everybody in the theater said, "You're the stupidest kids."
It worked.
It worked, yeah. But we went and saw Dark Crystal. We just laughed our heads off afterwards. That's the Mike I want to remember for the rest of my life. That nobody really knows. And there was a time, this is when we first met, it was 1971. Yeah, One Bad Apple had just hit, and they had I Want You Back, I believe, just before us. So anyway, we were performing at the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, and they were performing the following evening. They flew in the day before, and I wanted to stay to see their show, but we had a concert in another town the next night, so I couldn't stay. But I remember, the place was just packed with people. Bless you. Wizard behind the curtain. Oh, that was you! Oh, okay. So I remember during the song, I looked over, and there's Michael Jackson peeking his head out of the curtain, just watching me. And in hindsight, that's kind of a cool moment. At the moment, I just thought, oh, there's my buddy Mike, And the interesting thing about that moment is that after the show was over, screaming like you can't believe, we go back to the hotel, and Joe and Catherine on the sofa with my mom and dad talking, and Alan and Jermaine and Tito and Wayne and Marlon and Jay. Do you know where Mike and I were? We were in another room playing with toys. We were 13 years old. We were just like these two kids having hit records, and all we wanted to do was just play with toys.
Just hang.
Yeah, and again, in hindsight, that was a kind of a cool moment to remember. It's very unique. Yeah. Yes.
So, I've been wanting to ask you this. This is kind of a weird question.
Okay.
By the way, tonight is the number of shows that I have now seen at more than Donny and Marie, which is kind of...
Oh, come on, are you serious?
Not as much as Joseph, but...
Yeah, how many Joseph shows did you see?
I think I saw at least 23.
Oh, you're kidding me.
First time was when I was 16.
No way.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So there's not many fans like me who are Gen X.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's 4 of us. Maybe another one here, which is kind of cool. I was wondering why in Sacred Emotion, in this show, you don't sing the Bring It On Back to Me line.
Bring it on back to me.
That is the best line.
I don't sing that on stage? What about? It's just before the sax solo, right?
Yeah, you.
Cause our love is like a sacred emotion. It's burning bright for the whole world to see. Woo-hoo!
Right.
The reason I do that is because it's a key change. And bring it on back to me doesn't work because of the key change. I wonder if I can work it in.
It's a really good
Like
line.
a sacred emotion. Play the key change. And it's burning bright for the whole world to see. Bring it on back to me. Doesn't work.
My turn?
Yes, your turn.
So earlier this week, you gave us a recommendation about olives over at Bellagio.
Yeah, is it there?
No.
It's gone.
Since 2018.
Oh,
They left in 18.
Uh-huh.
pandemic.
Well, you can see how long it's been since I've eaten there.
But they made it look really good online, because we're like, oh, we're gonna go have lunch there.
Yeah,
So it's gone. So I
but it is online, so I'm not lying.
It's a great way to diet.
Good point.
There you go.
Mm.
Last night, I connected with Otto today, and he got the music for Pantoland, and you were gonna sing it tonight.
I am?
You said you would.
Is that a request?
Would you please?
All right, well, let me just tell you what it is. We were trying to do this last night and it bombed.
Hey,
But you got it, right?
Yeah, I
You got everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just finished a show in London, and I gotta show you this outfit that I wore. Oh, is it? It's a pretty amazing outfit. And so I was the, what's called the wizard of the show. So I introduced the acts and things like that, and I commanded all these fireworks and stuff on stage, and fire and everything. But I opened up the show, and the response was just amazing. We were at the Palladium Theater, and in certain circles that is considered to be the best theater in the world. And I have to concur because, well, let me show you. This is what the theater looks like. If I have it. Yeah, here. That's the theater. It's not a great picture.
Wow.
But
Three-tier balcony.
Three-tier balcony, about 2,200 people. And when you've got that many people and the lights blaring at you, the curtain opens up and here's your wizard up for the evening, Donny Osmond, curtains open up, and everybody's applauding. And on the 9th of December, Andrew Lloyd Webber is sitting right there, applauding. And everybody breaks into happy birthday, because that was my birthday. And Andrew Lloyd Webber is singing happy birthday to me. Yeah, with 200,000 people.
That's incredible.
And then I go start the show with this song, if I can remember. That's Puppy Love.
That's the intro.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Incredible.
That's right. That's when the curtain opens up. If I can remember the words. Another year has come and gone. Who could have dreamed of the challenges we'd all take on? The road was hard, the road was long, but now we're home. We dare to smile, search high and low for the joy we used to know. Unlock the magic in these eyes, 'cause finding Pantoland is not so hard to do. The child within who's always been there, smiling back at you. So leave the world behind, simply remember, and you can't help finding Pantoland. That's how we'll do it. Anyway, it's a beautiful song, and it just starts the whole thing. It keeps building, and oh, thank you, building and building, and that started everything, and then it just went crazy from there. It was a crazy show.
That was great, thank you.
Oh, thank you for
Thanks,
the request.
I'm glad I got to see the video clip.
Wasn't it great?
The intro was so grand.
It was grand.
And it's like a clip of Puppy Love, and you know who's coming.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Bam, Donny in this big old...
Yeah, it was pretty dramatic, wasn't it?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It was magical.
And great orchestration.
It really was.
Unbelievable.
It was pretty cool. The whole show was funny, a little irreverent, but that's what pantomime over in Britain is all about. You have to be British to understand it. Did you understand a lot of it?
I did.
Did you?
And if I didn't, I went to Google.
Yeah, and
The
then
next day and found out what it was, or asked one of the British girl ladies and said, what does this mean? And then they would explain it to me.
yeah, and then it's funny.
It was hysterical.
So I love the part where Paul Zerden, he's one of the most amazing ventriloquists. He would come out there, and Sam, his puppet, was in this little bucket, and he says, "Now, before I get into my act, this is for health and safety. Now on with the ventriloquism." That's great. Some great acts. Now, we had a fire act. You saw that. Fire all over the stage, just amazing. And we lost them for 10 days because they got COVID. And the Tiller Girls is the UK's version of the Rockettes. Normally 12, we got down to 8 on a couple shows. But finally, everybody came back and we finished with the entire show. It was We were one of the few shows in the West End that stayed open during Omicron.
Wow.
We were pretty blessed.
If you do go back though, you need to be part of the 12 days of Christmas.
Well, did you see my request?
No.
Oh, because I said that. The last show, I walk out, I give a speech, thanking everybody in the whole bit, applause, 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 and I bring Julian up, and I said, Julian, would you like to share just something? And he said, very short speech, he said, we just want you back here next year. And everybody's applauding, and I said, okay, only on one condition. And there was silence. I get to be part of the 12 days of Christmas next year.
No, I left on the 1st of January.
Okay, that's right. And we closed on the 4th. No,
Now the 9th?
the 9th, that's right, because I flew home the 11th. Yes.
Speaking of 12 days of Christmas,
Yes.
I enjoyed Scavengers,
Did you?
but the 12th one was a riddle.
Yeah.
And I never could figure that one out.
I don't have it in front of me.
I don't remember what the riddle was, but it
Yeah. It's funny you should mention that because I was talking to my manager today, and next week I'm having a video conference with all the people that helped me put that together. It's a company in Utah, as a matter of fact.
I noticed that.
In Ogden. That's where I was born. And so I'm going to have a huge video conference with all of the participants.
Can you get them to post the answers on Scavengers or someplace?
I guess they could. Might not be a bad idea. I'll bring it up to them. Okay?
Yeah.
I know people. Somebody, yes.
When you did your music video for Who,
Who?
how long did it take you to do? And do you see yourself doing a few more in the future?
Oh yeah, I love doing stuff like that. It took me 9 hours to shoot that, but it took me months to put it together, to write the script. For those of you who haven't seen it, I wanted to create this video with 3 different personalities of Donny. So there's 3 Donnies on the same screen in the same scene, and some of them will freeze, and the other 2 will keep going, and this guy will join them without any edit. And I mean, it was so complicated. And when I was recording it, there were some people watching behind the camera. And I talked to them there, they said, this makes no sense. Because the song, who, could love me crazy the way you do. But I had to cut out certain audio pieces. Because I would go, who, freeze, who, and then just pick up in tempo without any edit. And the only way you do that is you cut out the audio between pieces. So when I recorded it was, who, could love me crazy the way you do, who. And so,
It's like an odd time sequence.
it's totally out of time. There's no time structure to it at all. And it's so hard. But in the editing room, when you stretch it out, it all comes out.
It works out.
It's like an
And
accordion.
That was your
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
That's what they're-
Anyone else? Yes?
Are you going to tour this summer?
Well, we're looking at some dates. And the answer is I don't know yet. Not sure. So that's all I can tell you.
US or UK?
US. UK would be a little bit harder right now to put everything together in time, so possibly next year for the UK. I would love to take this show to the West End. That would be fun.
In that theater?
No, well, that's probably a little too big, because I love this theater because it's so intimate. And as you will see, anybody seen the show here besides you guys? You've seen the show? Oh, when were you here?
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
What do you remember of the show? Because as the producer of the show and part director of it, that intrigues me to see what people remember.
Just how much you've done. Much respect to you.
Really? Because it's interesting that you would say that as the first thing that comes to your mind, because...
That song you did with the rap.
The rap.
Amazing.
Thank you. That when I came up with that idea and I called Raj Kapoor, my director, I said, I got an idea, Raj. And it took a year to put this show together.
How long did it take you to memorize it?
Oh, be quiet. Be quiet. I dare you to say it right now. She's memorized that. But I said, Raj, what if I did, because we're trying to fit 60 years into a 90-minute show, what if I did a rap, kind of like Hamilton? And it was dead silence on the phone. And then he started laughing. He said, Donnie, that's the best idea I've ever heard in my life. And then Keith Harrison, my music director, started writing it, and I throw him material like crazy. Let's put this and this and this. It took him about 5 months to write it. It took me about 3 months to learn it. How long did it take for you to learn
And
it?
you knew the words when you started to memorize it too, right? You had the lyrics right in front of you.
No, it was all, I didn't want to read it. I wanted to just visualize it. Because that's the way I remember
2 weeks.
everything. 2 weeks for you?
Once I knew the words, yeah.
Yeah, but then, yeah, okay, you're better. You win, you win. Can you still do it?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
From the beginning?
Yeah. It all began back in Utah.
It all began back in Utah. I was 4 years old, started singing with my brothers, and the sound was like gold. So my folks took a leap and said, oh, what the hey, we gotta get these monsters out to California. Me, I miss my sandbox, but I like the beach. And I practiced at home while my brothers cut their teeth as a barbershop quartet at Disneyland, where they were soon discovered in a way that no one could have planned. So you remember Andy Williams? Well, his dad saw their spark when they sang a couple songs at Disneyland after dark. Well, and he had to agree, those boys could carry a tune. So they went on a show and made the audience tune.
Okay, we got it, you got it. You win, you win. So I challenged the band and the dancers. I said, anyone who can memorize it first, I'll buy a Ruth's Chris dinner, whoever wins. And so Cindy, she said, does it apply to us as well? I said, sure, why not? I didn't think she'd do it. So I owe her a Ruth's Chris dinner.
You beat the band.
You beat the band.
It wasn't hard to memorize it. It was hard to get up there and do it.
Right, yeah.
That was the hard part.
Do it on stage. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. Because since you guys haven't seen the show yet, I don't want to give away the show. Well, I'll give away the show. So I thought, this is going to be, I think it's going to go down really well. I think people will really like it. And the first time I had an audience, I thought to myself, they don't like it. Because it all began back in Utah. I was 4 years old, started singing in my mind when I'm putting this together. People are going to say, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. I remember. And everybody's just like this. And I'm thinking, it's bombing. And then I realized, I'm going so fast, they don't have time to react. Because by the time they say something else is happening, and then at the end, everybody goes crazy, right? And then the recap at the end was, that was a necessity, by the way, for the quick change. We had to, that was a last minute add-on. But what a great thing, because it does a recap of all the pictures that you just saw in the last 10
Oh, for the
minutes.
shoes? No, when
No, that goes into closing the door from Joseph and the Amazing Technical Recall. So I thought it bombed. I thought, this isn't working after all this work. And then I realized they didn't have time to react. So it does work. But thank you, appreciate that. Yeah.
Can you do In It for Love?
In It for Love? No. No.
With the wiggle.
With the wiggle? Oh, you guys, you're killing me.
You love
So
it.
this song, what tour was it?
What tour?
Yeah, what tour did I do this on? It was 2006?
Maybe.
Over in the UK. It was the Castle tour, wasn't it?
Maybe. We weren't there.
Oh no, I did it in the 2017 One Night Only.
One Night Only.
That's right. So the reason why they like this is because I came up with a move that I think is the stupidest move in the world. Yes, you call it the wiggle. And I'm going to do just a brief, you guys are going to throw up, so close your eyes.
Oh, let's go.
That's all I'm doing. That's it.
It was better, Otto, when you turned around though.
Yeah, whatever.
I see what you're saying.
Whatever. What else do you remember?
Oh, man, I mean, just your experiences, everything you've been through is much respect to you, man.
Cool, thank you. Did you like the Andy tribute?
Yes.
And the Marie tribute?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. The Andy was great, the start was great. I mean, I think a lot of the songs that we heard, you know, brought us back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. This age group is predominantly the age group that comes to my show, but every once in a while we get little teenagers. I had a little 8-year-old. Do you remember the little 8-year-old?
Yeah.
In the back. And we do a request segment. And she requested some songs, and how do you know who I am? She says, you're Donny Osmond. It was the cutest thing. But the request segment was an idea that I've had in the back of my mind for so many years. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could just do any song I've ever recorded? And it took me a year to figure out how to do this technically. So Glenn and I, we worked on it hourlessly. The wizard back there.
There's no other show that does it.
No, but I saw, who was it? He spun a wheel. Oh, it was Metal. He spun a wheel, and there were like 5 or 6 songs, and whatever it landed on, he would do that song. What's 5 or 6 songs?
That's doable.
I've done, this is my 65th album. So I'm thinking, okay, I want to be able to do any song from any of the 65 albums, just like that.
How many songs?
Oh, I don't know, it's a lot.
600 plus?
600 plus, at least, yeah, at least. So, this little girl just requested, I can't remember what song she requested, but it was the cutest thing. But, what's that? Oh, and so anyway, the request segment is another one that I really look forward to because it changes every night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tonight it'll be totally different. Last night we got some songs I don't think I've ever performed live on stage.
Wow.
And in fact, I forgot some of the words, so I just had to sit and listen to it. So.
Did you ever record Gaston?
Did I ever record Gaston? No. No. That's why it's not on the screen because it wasn't part of an album. Whereas Joseph was a released album. Yeah. That was a fun experience playing.
Well,
Yes.
the impressive part though is that between August and November, you sang over 200 different songs.
I did, really? Oh, that's on your list.
On the stat
Yes.
sheet.
You've got the list.
Yeah, yeah.
Over, I think it was 214.
214.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would work because it's so technical when you get right down to it. We only have a few more minutes. I was going to go into a long story technically, but we don't need to. Go ahead.
No, just really quick, what is your favorite song to sing?
What is your name?
Joanne.
Joanne, that's like trying to pick a favorite child.
I know, but when I'm a teacher, yeah, sometimes you do pick a favorite child.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I love singing Puppy Love now. There was a time in my life I hated it, but I've embraced that whole thing in my life, and it's the 3rd song I sing, and when I hear the intro, and I just stand behind the gold mic and just sing it the way it should be sung, it's a great moment for me. It really is. So I like that. There's this new album. Put up the new album for a second for me, Glenn. Each song on this album, I have never worked harder on an album before in my life. It took me 3.5 years to write this, and I wrote over 40 songs and narrowed it down to these 12. So, I can't even pick a favorite on this because each one has such an interesting story, backstory to it, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with Puppy Love. Because I hated it for a while, but now I like it. Because it was the very thing that was keeping me from progressing in my career. But I kind of grew up and embraced the whole teeny bopper thing that I went through. It's nice to have some success to be able to hold on to and say, yes, that was the past, but now I'm doing this. But an interesting dynamic happened in my life, and it happened around Joseph. But it really took place around the middle of the Donny and Marie run of the Flamingo, where I realized, enjoy your past, embrace it. Yeah, there's, particularly the guys, the name Donny Osmond was a joke on the street, and it hurt big time. But after a while, we all kind of grow up and say, yeah, that's the past. This is me now. And I can go out there tonight, as you'll see in about 45 minutes, and sing Puppy Love and love every bit of it. In the rap, I talk about failures in my life. And at the time when I failed on Broadway, it was devastating. But now it's funny. Isn't it interesting? How, what's the saying, tragedy plus time equals comedy? It's so true. And you'll see a lot of that tonight. So I'm going to go warm up. And again, I'm going to bookend this by saying, this is why I call it the personal pre-show. Everyone out in that audience will see a different person. You're going to see me wear a different hat in about 45 minutes and become the performer. It's two lives that I live. It's really interesting. Debbie and I were driving here to Harrah's a couple days ago, and my big billboard in front of the hotel just popped up as we were pulling in. And she said, "What does that feel like?" You know, there you are, you know, just
On the Las Vegas
on the Las Vegas Strip, and that's you. And on the front of the building, you got that big picture. What does that feel like? And I had to stop and think about it for a second. And I said, "That's not me. That's somebody else." It's really weird. It's just somebody else. And when I go on stage, I put on that persona. Not that I live a hypocritical life, I live just two different lives, because I love to take that hat off and then be a husband, a father, and a grandpa. You know, it balances my life, because I've seen so many people, I had so many peers and friends in this business lose it because they don't know how to take that hat off. Anyway, I'm rambling on too much. Enjoy yourselves, have a great time, because I certainly will. It's going to be fun. Thank you very much, everybody. Stay safe out there.